Peace to the family. It's the Hood Mystic representing www.hoodmystic.com, chakra-nova.com. New site coming soon. ColumbianExchange.com. You know we are your one-stop spiritual shop for all things herbs, all things books, all things class recordings. Hop on those class recordings because those class recordings will be coming down very soon, because I'm about to foray into some different things as far as education is concerned. The reason for this video, however, is to piggyback off of the video that I did last night. I think I did a video last night, family, but to be honest with you, I'm really to the point that every day is just one day. And what does a day consist of? Following spirit. And so as I'm specifically following spirit, I had been led to have a conversation about casual sex and the hormonal implications towards casual sex in reference to chakras. Because in this society where porn is the same thing as casual sex, based upon the actual hormonal release, and then being in relationships don't equate to casual sex, because there's other things that exist within the relationship than simply just sex. So that was a backdrop of what I was talking about. This video in particular is going to be a reaction video, a short reaction video to a video that I seen this morning from the beautiful people at 8 at the Table. They put out a video this morning called Sex Drive versus Sexual Appetite. And this is season 4, episode 2. It just came out today. So I watched the whole thing. You can go on their YouTube channel and watch the whole video. I'm just going to react. This is my first ever reaction video, so it's going to be kind of low budget, kind of cheap. But don't think that I'm low budget and cheap. I'm morphosizing. Just made a word. I'm morphosizing into high class. I'm about to be a high class hoe out here in these streets. But in reference to being a high class hoe, let's react.
Somebody, we've been fucking for 5 years. That's one of the best sex I ever had. I don't want to be with him forever. We could fuck forever, but I don't want no relationship with this man. I don't want to have kids with him. I don't want to marry him. But the sex is great. I mean, like, I give a man, when I deal with someone, I give you like 3 months to like really prove to me like what you have. You got 3 months. If we keep on doing it, you're not it for me, I'm going to go in my back pockets. I will have a side dude. I always do. I might not use him for the moment, but if it's necessary, he's going to get used. If I realize you can't please me and I like vibing with you, I'm going to still vibe with you, but I'm going to have my side dude. I'm going to call him like, yo, what's up? I don't got to talk to my side dude for years, but if I...
So, real quick, if you equate sex to love, you're not understanding that sex is much different than love. You could have sexual bonds with people and still seek relationships outside of the sexual bonds that you have actually created with a person. Give me 1 second, family. So imagine that this neurotransmitter, all of this melanin, all of this spiritual stuff that's going on in the world, right? We have access to, but we utilize our energy in toward sexual relationships that we are not having. Whether you watching it in porn, whether you watching it in your mind, reflecting on a previous relationship, the greater aspect of where we're trying to get to in life is a space in like chastity. My wife was referencing the chastberry, and I find that the message in the chastberry is to be very patient with your feminine energy. It's a herb for women.
Point is there, so I'm gonna give you that opportunity to prove yourself.
My internet was off for a second, so I'm gonna let her talk for a second, and then I'm gonna follow up.
For like 3 months to 6 months to see if I could deal with it. But if you're not satisfying me, my side dude is the truth. If you fuck me, when we start fucking, we're not gonna stop for a while. So it's kind of like I give you a clean slate. I'm not, when I start messing with a dude, I'm not dealing with my side dude. You know what I'm saying? My side dude got his thing going on, I got my own thing going on. But like if we messing going, I realize, damn, you did 3 to 6 months, you still can douche. That's when I'll be like, yo, what's good? What you doing? What's up? And when I start fucking my side dude, God knows I'm gonna stop. You know what I'm saying? So I give you that time. I give you a time to prove yourself. If you can say, I'm a sexual person, I realize that. It took me a while to be like, I was ashamed to be like, I'm a sexual person, but I'm like, what the fuck is? I like to fuck. Fuck it.
Well, and it ain't really judgment. It's really an understanding of the normalization of sex in our culture. How candid we are about something that is so severe to the psyche. In reference to a casual sexual encounter, you don't know if this person may make you fall in love with them, may give you energy that is detrimental to your psychosis. So we speak of greatness, we speak of purpose, we speak of all of this amazing shit that we wish to accomplish. However, the sexual acts that we perform without understanding creates the dissonance, meaning the distance or the lack of grasping of why. And if we don't know why, because we suffer from dissonance and bias, meaning that a woman might have a type of man. You'll hear it. She say, I have a type. A man might have a type of woman. He'll say, I have a type. And they will only date a certain type of person. Maybe it's a person with low self-esteem. Maybe it's a person that's from the hood. But within your type, you will also say, there ain't no good men out here. There ain't no good women out here. But do you know that your type is based upon a sexual imprint? The sexual imprint is very much incestual if you don't bring a mind to it. So ultimately, you're not dating in reference to the type of guy you like. You're dating into who closely resembles your father, who closely resembles your mother, energetically, chemistry-wise, DNA-wise. And you sussing out people through having sex with them. And that's not the way to go. So imagine if you wanted, what this lady is essentially saying, that she wants to have a long-term relationship. But if the long-term relationship does not work out, it's okay, because she has a long-term relationship already established with her side dude. So instead of being with her side dude, and fellas, ladies, understand that everybody you deal with has a sexual imprint, and it ain't your ass. So what is the problem and issue in the relationship? They have a sexual imprint that is not you. That's why it won't work out. That's why when you say something, they don't hear you. That's why when you have difficulties in your relationship, energetically, they saying, if you leave, I'll go call my first love or the person who has my imprint. And sometimes the imprint is incestual because we're not understanding, especially when we are good students. Because what is education essentially? Is education to teach you how to be the best you, or is education trying to give you the white man's mind? So if you're good at education, it doesn't mean that you're smart. It boosts your ego, but your ego is not the whole you. You are a spiritual being having a human experience, and the things that boost your spirit up is quality relationships. Not educational titles, financial things, and essentially it's impossible for us as a people to have quality relationships because we don't understand sex.
If you can please me, because I'm a pleaser. I please men. So my whole job when I deal with somebody, I make you come, I make you laugh. So I'm pleasing you. So if you can't do anything for me within that sense, so I'm allowed to go to my side dude, whoever could get the job done, because you're not doing it. If I don't want to lose a friend and whatever, I'm going to keep you around if you're doing stuff for me. But like, you're not just going to be the only one. That's all.
I love my vibrator, so I'm not thinking, why can't I call this person or this person?
So, beautiful women who don't need a man sexually because they've programmed themselves to have casual sex nightly from a machine. Because when you have sex with your vibrator, you're not having casual sex. You're not having meaningless sex. You're not having something that doesn't anybody know about. Because if essentially you want to have a long-term relationship with a man, he is not going to suck your pussy like a fucking rose. Not going to have a dick like a dildo. He might just have whatever he have. He might eat pussy regular style. But whenever you establishing a long-term serious relationship, in all the history of life, it was never predicated on the high quality of sexual experience. In the area for which the sexual experience was equated to value was in prostitution. But I don't feel that y'all holding that title. Y'all not prostitutes. Y'all not hoes. Y'all good women. Solid, heart-led women. Divine beings having... Once again, I'm going to say this. Y'all not sexual objects. And because you have been programmed to think that you either need to be a sexual object, and please don't let me get started. It's a BBL house that people can go to from $150 up to $500 a night where they can take care of you after your surgery. Meaning that people have created a whole business of caring for young ladies in the space that the medical profession will not. Meaning that they'll cut on your ass, do what they need to do, and send your ass somewhere off in the distance. This is why you got to sign up for a BBL house to sit and relax from $150 to $500 a night. Make sure you include that in the cost when you're structuring out your BBL budget. Who's going to take care of you after the surgery? Because the hospital won't. But all of this to be a sexual object to which men don't even want. Do you know what type of individual, species, energy that wants objects and toys? You guessed it, little boys. So when you do things physically, you're attracting not men, boys. A man cares about the substance of your soul. He values your energy. It's a chemical It's a chemical toxin called vasopressin. He can't help but to love you. Once that chemical, that bonding chemical, is enacted within the relationship. Do you think that this is brought about by sex? It's brought about by children. Childbirth. Only when you are present, meaning that the marriage is on. This is why in our teaching, we don't speak about child. We don't speak about woman. We don't speak about man. We speak about man, woman, and child. So from man, woman, and child, you have the understanding. You have the Binah, Kether, Chokmah. You have the Holy Trinity. So it is not marriage chemically without a child. Because in order for a man to be chemically bonded to the family, he has to have the experience, not a C-section. He has to be present as the baby comes out of the womb. And as the baby comes out of the womb, something changes within his DNA, biologically. And he begins to produce a chemical that he never had before. This is why you can see an 18-year-old father acting a way that a 30-year-old bum or a 30-year-old living in his mom's basement just doesn't act. Because it's a neurotransmitter. It is a chemical that explodes within our being that says I'm responsible for another life. Let me figure out what the hell I'm going to do. In reference to that, he has to take care of the child too. But sometimes it can't be manipulated through sex. So sometimes what tends to happen is you get pregnant and then you're trying to separate the child from the man. And if you're successful in separating the child from the man one way or the other, if he runs away one way or another, you have the child, you might be like, well, why doesn't he bond with the child? Because he wasn't present. That, I'm telling you, I don't give a fuck who you are. What are you talking about? Let's argue to the end of time. The most spiritual experience that a human being will ever be present to witness is when a child is born. There's nothing else. Everything else that y'all talk about is more to be desired. We talking about the essential, the epitome of spirituality, the epitome of alien technology, the epitome of chakras, the epitome of manifestation, the epitome of sex magic, the epitome of alchemy, the epitome of all things is found within childbirth. So when you have sex, it's like sending your mice. When you have sex without the person that you're committed to. Commitment is a part of the development of your neuron transmitters. To which anything outside of it, you'll be simply fixated on trying to get money. Tell me I'm lying. Niggas swear to God that if they just get enough money, everything will take care of itself. But at the same time, these people never seem satisfied. Why? Because satisfaction is the inner journey. What is the inner journey? Understanding your hormonal balance. So let's get into Miss Vibrator one more time.
She's getting used. And yeah, so yeah, I have no problem in using my vibrator. So I never really have to think to myself, okay, there's an issue that I'm using it too much. Maybe I should go get it somewhere else or whatever. That is my best pleasure when I'm pleasuring myself.
Thank you.
So no conversation is going to be had at all. I'm kind of hush-hush with my thoughts, especially thoughts on doing something somewhere else. That conversation isn't being had.
So today we had
So I'm going to close this video out and just really speak to the subtle nature of having conversations with people in a world where we are programmed to have sex with y'all and then try to figure this shit out. My thing is, if we have enough energy and enough moxie to generate sexual feelings towards each other, we should build a business first. We should begin a book study. We should develop a plan of getting to know each other. If I want you that bad, I want to have sex with you that bad, I should be able to have long-term conversations with you. I should be able to set up appointments, webinars, whatever the fuck we gonna do. We gonna develop a conversation towards our relationship. I want to know your mama. I want to know your daddy. I want you to know my mama. I want you to know my daddy. Stop manipulating people into your pussy. Because you ain't winning out here doing that shit. What's up, big bro? Just chilling. It's no win. It's no win in having sex with somebody that you can't have a committed long-term relationship with, because you will live in a space of dissonance. And you will not Google this shit and find what I'm referencing. This is something very purely from spirit. If you do not have the reason for why you fucking up in life, your brain will create a narrative that will not explain why you fucking up. It will create a narrative as to how other people are fucking you up. So a person might say, that person is hexing me. That person is wishing bad on me. They don't like me. That person hates me. As if it is an excuse for the opposite energy, what we're actually talking about. Your accountability. So if we're not able to bring about a mind to our sexual energy runs our lives and we have no consciousness behind it. It is a troubling thing when I come to think about it, because ultimately people will have sex but want long-term relationships. It's like saying I want to drive cross country, but I also want my 2-year-old to drive my car. How do I actually want to drive cross country if I want, I got in the car today, John, I was putting him in his car seat. He said, he's learning how to talk. So he said, I want to drive. I said, you want to drive? He said, yeah, I want to drive. I said, drive where? He said, just drive. I want you to sit in the back. I want to drive. I was like, you serious, ain't you? He was like, yeah. I was like, you think you can drive, can't you? He said, yeah, I can drive, Dad. Let me drive. That's what it's like when sexual energy is leading your relationship life. It don't make sense, do it? How do you want to have a long-term relationship, but you also want to have sex with, and you want to masturbate? So you want to create the experience. I'll do you one better. Say, for instance, you don't have sex. You don't watch porn. You don't think in a sexual term whatsoever. You begin to be productive with your mind, productive with your energy, doing other shit besides thinking about sex. You out of a relationship, so you're not watching porn no more. You just focused in on life, what you need to do with your life, build your life up because the relationship didn't work out, whatever the case may be. The next time you have sex is going to be fucking amazing, because you've let that sexual energy go. And it don't matter who you have sex with, essentially, because you're going to be so fucking horny that it doesn't even matter. But say, for instance, you sad, and to boost you up chemically, hormonally, you masturbate. Guess what happens when you're sad again? Your ass is going to masturbate. And then you're going to say, I want to be in a relationship. But does the relationship and the sexual energy match your masturbation? Because if it doesn't match your masturbation, you're going to be unfulfilled at a hormonal level. But if you're not going to tell your partner, well, I masturbate 2 times a day, so could you please eat my pussy 2 times a day, but make sure you eat my pussy with some force. Because I don't like that fucking feathery shit. That shit be irritating my clit. Lick my pussy with your tongue, nigga. The whole tongue, right? You start talking like that, he like, okay, she wants me to eat her pussy twice a day. But then it gets kind of weird, though, because you got all of these weird kinks and weird shit the deeper the conversation goes. So that reverts me back to the topic. Stop fucking. And stop thinking that sex is not in relation to a very serious thing that has happened to you internally. Even if you're watching porn. Porn is a simulation. The device for which you hold it in your hand, or you watching it on YouTube or whatever the case may be, your brain, what did Panic tell us about the subconscious mind? Panic said, when you watch a movie, your subconscious mind does not differentiate between it being fake or being it real. So imagine you are in a heterosexual relationship, but you watching gay porn. Or you watching gangbangs and you watching bukakis and things of that nature. But you're not communicating that to your partner. Do you not? Is that not shadow work that needs to be had within your relationship? Because the fact that, whatever the case may be, you sent him to the grocery store to get 2 peppers and he brought back 1 pepper and now he an ain't shit nigga, is not his fault. It's your fault for not creating a conversation to what gets you the fuck off. Because if you were to have the conversation of what gets you the fuck off, you get into the space of, oh shit, maybe I'm a deviant. Maybe I'm a real deviant. And I don't want to address the fact that I'm a deviant because I'm halfway sexy and guys like me. And if I tell you the insides of me, you won't like me anymore. And if you feel like that, is it the guy's fault or is it the woman's fault or is it your fault for understanding or not having an understanding of the implications chemically or hormonally to sex? And just because we wasn't taught it doesn't make it not valid. And just because you can't control it doesn't mean you don't have to control it. I say, in reference to manifesting a job, and I did heroin, what would y'all tell me to do? Y'all would say, stop doing heroin, Kyrie. If you really want a job, you would just stop. You would put the fucking needle down. So everybody wants a relationship. Everybody wants love. Everybody wants to establish a deep bond with somebody, a long-term bond. But the way that the world is with social media and dating apps, and then when you connect with somebody, it's not as if that person does not want to fuck you. So eventually you do give in because you don't know what else to fucking do. You want to have a long-term relationship, and maybe you think, if I put this pussy on you, I might hook you into some shit. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. Sometimes you put the pussy on him and he turned out to hate you. For which it's never been a point where I've had a crazy girl in my life that I did not fuck. I'm going to say that one more time. Never have nobody tripped out on me, went crazy on me, slashed my tires, smacked me, did some old crazy shit for which we did not have sex first. So what brought about this negative emotion? Clearly the sex. Sex is not pointless. Sex is not useless. If you think that you could just have sex and you're in a relationship, why is it if you were to, so say for instance you were a woman and you cheated, you wouldn't necessarily tell your man that you cheated. But if sex is pointless, if sex is casual, if you didn't know that man and it meant nothing, you love your husband, why the fuck didn't you tell him? You told him about the time you went to the store. You told him about bitchy ass Julia and receptionist who thinks she all of that. You tell him everything in the world. Why don't you tell him the details of your cheating rendezvous? Because sex is very important. Chemically, hormonally. Now you are not the same woman mentally before you've went outside the relationship. And it's not to say that it's bad, but it is bad when we don't have communication and conversations to what's happening to us hormonally. Because what happened to us hormonally is either traumatic or very important to us. It's something that we think about. So you cannot be present in your relationship and you having other girls that you fucking. Can't be present in your relationship and it's other men that you fucking. Mentally. There might be a time you having a good time with your bae and you're thinking about your other bae. You want his sex. You want her sex. And so this happens all the time. Now all of a sudden you mad. Ain't mad about shit for real. You just looking for an escape. Now you starting an argument. Now you fighting. Now all of a sudden I'm gone. I see you later. Whole time he texted, what's going on? Nothing, just arguing with her. I don't know why y'all always argue all the time. Call me when you get free. He just waiting for the time to get free. The reality is he could have said, you know what? My hormonal synapses ain't hitting right now with you. It's making me depressed being with you. You producing this cortisol within me. I need to get around Shaniqua's ass. When I'm around Shaniqua, I don't want to smoke weed. I don't want to drink. I don't want to pop pills. I don't want to eat chicken wings. I don't want to do nothing unhealthy. Because the hormones that go within my body make me feel so fucking good being with Shaniqua's ass. Can't have that conversation though. So, I'm just going through this channel, man. I'm just going through whatever spirit got going for me with this sexual thing. And I'm going to talk about it, do some study into it. I really feel, because I've been trying to do a Pambajira video, but every time I get to work into Pambajira, I start working to these hormones. So get your knowledge base up. Understand what's happening internally and give yourself a break. Give yourself a chill pill and restore your hormones, right? Don't be a whore that moans. Understand your hormones. Peace.